my moss wall and I posted the video and I got an amazing response from you guys. And you know what? It was just to show you how I made mine, but I got so many questions about it that I was like, okay, I have to make a video just so I could show you how I built my frame and how I did the moss process too, and all the materials and everything. And we're gonna get started. So first thing first, if you have a saw, then you're gonna get your saw out. And I have a tradesman. I got this at my local hardware store, and I pretty much use it to cut my wood so that I can build my frames. So I'm gonna need, obviously, safety first. You're gonna need your goggles, and I have glue, wood glue, and I have my trusty hammer and some nails. These are wire brads, and it's number 17, 1 inch, and you could get these at your local hardware store. And also a tape measure, and you're going to need a pencil so that you can mark your wood so that you can make sure that it's nice and accurate. So I have my wood over here, and this is, it is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is going to make a nice frame, and of course you're going to need back to your wood. Right? So, I got this piece right here. I'm gonna go ahead and make it with this. It's a piece of scrap wood from one of my bigger pieces. And so I'll go ahead and build a frame all the way around, and that's what's gonna keep the moss inside. Alright, so let's get started. Alright guys, so the first step to building this frame is that I'm going to have to measure the actual sticks to the back piece of the wood. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this piece for the shorter sides. So let me pull this off. Now normally I do a mitered frame, which means that it comes in at a 45-degree angle, but I want to switch it up today, and I'm going to do a very simple frame where it's literally just cut straight down the line, and then we'll measure the inside. Alright? So, first thing we're going to do is line it up, make sure this comes all the way out to the edge, and I'm going to mark it right here. That's that edge. Alright? And once I have that marked, I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece. And of course, safety first, make sure you put on your goggles. I got my fan on because I live in Florida and it's winter time, but it's still hot as balls, so you guys are going to have to deal with the fan. I'm sorry. Just saying. Now, if you decide that you enjoy building frames for some odd reason, or you're an artist and you didn't know how to build your own frames and you just want to start doing that, make sure that you change the actual blade that comes with this thing, because it cuts wood horribly. You need to get a very fine tooth saw so that you can cut better. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down and make sure that it lines up properly, and of course it needs to move over a little bit more. Keep my hands on the outside, don't keep your hands on the inside of this line. So if I gotta use a foot, I gotta use a foot. Alright, it's good. So now I can measure the other side. That the blade is on the outside of my pencil mark, because then if it's right on top of it, you might cut off too much. So I'm just making sure that it's right on the outside of my pencil mark. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put these down to make sure that they fit perfectly on the ends. And yep, they're good. So now I need to measure my side pieces. So I'm going to put it flush exactly where it should be on here. And then I'm going to bring my long piece down. And as I said, this piece that's here is going to have to go in between these two pieces right here. So what I'm going to do is put this right at where it would be on the inside. Right? And now I'm going to draw a line right on the inside of this, because that's going to tell me where to cut. Alright. I'll have that piece in. Nice and perfect right there. So put it right. So, as I said, make sure that whatever is going on your frame, you're cutting on the outside of that pencil mark. So this is the frame. This is what's going on my frame. So I'm going to be cutting on the outside so that I don't make the stick too short. So it's good to go. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and build the frame onto the back of my piece. And so I just went ahead and I propped it up on the two sticks that do the short side. But I'm going to go ahead and pull it off now because I need to put my wood glue onto the frame itself. So I'm just going to put a stream of glue on there. And I'm going to pick this up and literally just put it in place where it needs to be. Make sure it's nice and flush. And grab one of my threads. Always make sure that it's right where it needs to be. And make sure I don't do that again. Loose in the middle. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my 3, come down to this end. And this side. Don't forget the glue. Make sure you tap it in just a little bit before you make sure that it's perfect. See, it's moving, so now I'm going to put it back where it needs to be. Alright, that looks good. put the sides on. And it'll make it much easier because this was obviously, you know, a little loose and moving around. So of course, what I like to do when I'm building frames is to look at whatever side is not dented or gross looking and put that side on the outside. See how there's this big chip in the wood? So I want to put that on the inside so that, you know, it's hidden. You want your nicest smooth side on the outside. So, got it like that. And I'm actually going to put it on this side so that when I put my moss in, we're not even going to see that. And I think this side is my nice side, so I'm going to do like this. Up, and now we have our frame for our moss art. Now this is the point where if you want to go ahead and stain your frame, you can do that, distress it, do whatever you want. I also have other videos on distressing, so if you want to paint this solid and have a distressed look, go ahead and check out one of those videos.